What's up, Boss Dons? So, some of my biggest videos have been about Air Forces. So, I kind of been saying for a long time I would get back to making some more of those videos. But can I just say, it is very difficult to get Air Forces, especially the white ones, especially in some of the more common sizes like 8, 8.5, 9, 9.5. So, I feel very lucky to get these. I feel like I got a pair of Yeezys off of a raffle ticket in like 2015 or something. Like, you know, like that's how good it feels to have Air Forces. So I got them from Snipes. The reason why I'm letting you know is because maybe you'll have luck there, because you can't even get these on the Nike website sometimes. Like sometimes they're sold out on there. This gray box feels like this gray box. It's just one and the same right now. So my question is, and I really don't have any answers, so I'm really posing a question. Why are Air Forces always out of stock? Now some would say it's the pandemic, but it kind of lasted even after the pandemic. And I know people will say, well, we've always been in a pandemic, but there's been on and off periods. I feel like I'm talking like a professor, but hey. Anyway, so, I low-key think the reason that they're always sold out though is because it's just a popular shoe, and it's a very popular shoe. I feel like we always go through years of shoes, but I feel like Air Forces have held their moment, and I feel like they'll have a long duration because like I don't see us going back to the shell head anytime soon, or a shell toe, the Adidas Superstar. But hey, every shoe has their moment, so it's always weird when it happens, because I remember there was a time where high top Air Forces had a moment, and now like the lows are like gold, you know what I'm saying? But whatever the case is, like these are really hard to find. But not only are they hard to find, it's really hard to find a good pair, because a lot of Air Forces, one, we've all probably owned Air Forces before at this point, so I know you're not watching it for unboxing purposes, unless this is probably your first time seeing them or trying to know more about them. In short, what I'm trying to present to you is the fact that you can get a brand new Air Force, but it might not be a brand new Air Force, or at least the one you want. Sometimes the yellowing will be like so severe just from like a new pair that the shoestrings will be like so off-white from the leather, it'll amaze you. Sometimes the insides of this will have some yellowing. I'm not sure why that happens. Of course, probably like some oxidization or some shit. But my point is, when you go to the store, you want to make sure that yours are white. You want to make sure that you aren't being sold under the lights of the store. So do not hesitate to pull out your phone and flash a photo, because one thing about a photo with flash, in whatever lighting it is, it'll show the differences in light. So look at this, right? You see how, let me let it focus, so hold on. Like, and this is on camera, so the camera's already brightening everything from all the lights, but this is like the leather and these are the strings. You see how the strings are gray? You might think that's the light or shadows or something, but it's probably just because the strings aren't already a perfect match. Honestly, I think someone would make a lot of money if they came out with like the perfect color strings to match the leather. They might gotta be leather strings, and I know they already sell those, which if they match the leather perfectly, I think I would probably do that as an alternative. But it's just something about a fresh pair of white Air Forces. Some come tied like this, sometimes you see it behind the tongue. But all of that's irrelevant. I have a great video showing you how to tie Air Forces, but I'm gonna do another one because I've realized that there's like thousands of videos out there, so I'm like, let me refine what I was trying to say and let them know, because I am the originator of the loose Air Force. Not literally, but I mean in the sense that like that's something I've always done. Not before anybody else, but just something that's original to me. I never tied mine. I never planned on it. It wasn't my vibe. Whatever the case. Very simple. You don't gotta do much to, you know, fix your strings for real. Like people who do all of these long in-depth videos. First of all, these people be white and they aren't of the culture that made the Air Forces popular, so they're only giving you a regurgitated thing. Like, I'm from where we wore Air Forces and we wear them a certain way, and it's culture to make fun of somebody for like, yo, got your shirt too tight. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's, you gotta hear from the source. You know what I'm saying? Don't, all these like corny guys and like, first of all, man, listen. We don't gotta down anybody to make a point, but they be trying to make points that they don't have the source material. Like, it just gotta be in you, you know? But literally, all you have to do is really adjust your strings, like let them out some, open it up, put your feet in, tongue out, you're pretty much done. There's ways to perfect it, there's ways to, you know, learn how to walk in it, and there's ways to make sure that you're able to walk in it, because depending on what size Air Force you buy, they might be cut a little big and then they might have a little room. A lot of people say Air Forces are cut big, and I've seen it on so many different Air Force videos, and that's a lie. Air Forces are true to size. The issue is people don't really know their size, and because I feel like Air Forces come in half sizes, people may be used to going upper size or something like that. Get your true size in an Air Force. And sometimes you really can go down. And if your foot is squished a little, that does not matter, because guess what you'll do? You'll help prevent creasing. And that's ultimately the goal. Air Forces are shoes that, you know, we can show you how to clean, but anybody that knows anything will tell you, like, they be like one and dones most times. I mean, you know, I've learned a couple techniques though. I've learned a couple techniques that have helped me not really go too, you know, hard on the wear, because it's so easy, and then when you have them on, you just feel so good. It's just no feeling like an Air Force, because they're so durable. I mean, not durable. Not durable. I mean, I was trying to say diverse, but I knew that didn't work, so I guess as my mind jumped to durable, I meant like, wait, what am I trying to say? Oh, they're very, versatile. But like, once you put it on, it's just like a match made in heaven for your foot. Like, and I'm gonna do an on foot, I'm gonna do a how to tie, but I'm doing this video here specifically just to give you just a simple unboxing. I kind of wanted you guys to understand, more importantly than anything, that Air Forces are really dope shoes, but you can be easily tricked into buying a pair that are stained. And also, another thing I just wanted to talk on really briefly, because there's really not much to show, the Air Force packaging. But overall, I told you want to make sure that they're new. A lot of people exchange Air Forces, especially in store, and you know, sometimes people try them on and get them a little bit more wear than you would want to be buying a brand new pair of Air Forces. And overall, you really want to look for that color quality, because that's really important before you purchase, especially if you're purchasing in store, which I recommend always purchasing shoes like this in store, especially if you don't know what exact size to get. But also be careful, because now there's a resale market on Air Forces, especially during the pandemic when they were hard to get and stores were closed. I mean, during like early quarantine, like in 2020, like early 2020. Let me just say, I know a guy in my city who are selling them for $150. Now, you may say, okay, they're only $190, $95. Why is $150 such a bad thing? Because, I mean, it's not a bad thing. I mean, good for him, but it's like, yo, you don't really, how could you, like, why would I ever have to pay extra for an Air Force? Like, Air Forces are so perfect because they're your go-to. It's like, oh, I got nothing to wear. Well, let me just go grab something with an Air Force. You know what I'm saying? But I really want to know, why do you guys think Air Forces are always sold out everywhere? I mean, I told you what I think is just a popular shoe. But me, watching so many conspiracy theories on this here platform called YouTube, I was just wondering, did anybody have any suspicions? Because I have a couple of suspicions, and I won't get into it. But just know, Nikes, Air Force One, what does that mean? What did you just put together from what I said? Nothing? Okay. Well, be sure to check out my how to lace video that I already have, and also be sure to check out some of my new ones. And I'm gonna also be doing a lot of dope projects with Air Forces, transitioning them into some crazy things. So stay tuned for all of that. I hope you guys enjoyed this long, boring video. Stay untouchable. Godspeed.